For the record, Your Honor, procedurally, this court has previously granted, as you just said, a joint motion to vacate the judgment of conviction regarding Mr. Barnes pursuant to CPL Section 440.10, subdivision 1G, excuse me, which is commonly referred to in the legal community as the newly discovered evidence section of Article 440. Thus, at this point, we are technically at the pretrial stage of the indictment pending against Mr. Barnes, which is indictment 1988-096. That indictment initially consisted of 6 counts. Pursuant to the rules of professional conduct that apply to attorneys in the state of New York, and specifically Rule 3.8, Subdivision A, Special Responsibilities of Prosecutors and other governmental lawyers, which reads as follows: a prosecutor or other government lawyer shall not institute, cause to be instituted, or as it pertains to in this matter, maintain a criminal charge when the prosecutor or other government lawyer knows or it is obvious that the charge is not supported by probable cause. Your Honor, regarding the 6 counts in the indictment, the first count in the indictment is rape in the first degree under subdivision or under Section 130.35, Subdivision 1. Based upon the lab reports previously mentioned in prior proceedings before this court, I move to dismiss. The second count, sodomy in the first degree, 130.50, Subdivision 1 in penal law. Based upon that rule and the previous mentioned lab report, I move to dismiss. The third count, Mr. Barnes was acquitted at trial, and therefore that account doesn't exist anymore. The fourth count, the trade indifference. Based upon the rule stated, I move to dismiss. The fifth count, felony murder with the underlying rape. Based upon the rule, I dismiss. The sixth count, Your Honor, felony murder, underlying sodomy. But based upon that rule, I move to dismiss. Your Honor, I have apologized privately to Mr. Barnes and to his mother. I would like, at this moment, to publicly apologize to Mr. Barnes. Although our investigation has shown that there was no bad faith action involving the investigation or the prosecution of Mr. Barnes, nonetheless, our system, which I still believe is the best in the world, failed Mr. Barnes. For that, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Ms. Morales, do you wish to be heard on the District Attorney's motion?
We're happy to join the District Attorney's motion, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank Mr. McNamara and his office for the wonderful work that they have done and their willingness to work with us to get to the truth in this case. And we're all very grateful and thrilled that the over 2-decade-long journey and nightmare is finally over.
All right, on that basis, the court will dismiss all of the remaining counts in indictment 88-96.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Mr. Barnes, you may be heard, I believe, tonight.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to say, happy state my life. I'm glad this nightmare's over, but like I said, I apologize. Accept Mr. McNamara's apology. I think the community, all the support I had, and family and friends, I can't thank the Innocent Project enough for all the hard work they did, dedication in terms to get to this day. And I thank you for your honor. And I hope, there's closure in this someday soon for Simon's family. Because what happened happened to me, what happened to her. You know, the wrongs will make it right. Hopefully in the near future this will get, the real perpetrator will be found and justice will be done for Kimberly and her family. And I just want to thank everybody again. It's probably the happiest day of my life in 20 years. And sorry I cried a little bit. A little happy today, but thanks again.
I want to thank you for your words, Mr. Barnes. It shows an awful lot of character on your part. I don't think that there would be many people that would be in your position that would make that same thanks to the district attorney's office and to your attorneys. And I understand that you went through an awful hardship, but it shows an awful lot of character on your part to stand here and make these comments here in front of the media.
I just put the past behind me and just look to the future.
Good luck.
Thank you.
How does it feel, Mr. Barnes? 20 years later, it's all wrapped up.
I'm over with, overwhelmed. Probably one of the happiest days of my life. It's closure. Hopefully it'll be closure on the other side soon. Everybody can go on with life. Like I said, right now my future's going to be so bright I'll probably have to wear sunglasses.
Did you expect to get that emotional in court today?
I didn't want to. It was 20 years ago I had tears of sadness. Today was tears of joy.
Mr. Barnes, I know you accepted the apology in court, but do you plan on suing the county at all?
Eventually, yeah. You can't put a price tag on 20 years. I haven't discussed it. At a later date, I'll talk to somebody about it.
That's something that fortunately what happened today does open that door for Steve, but he's got plenty of time to decide what he wants to do going forward in that respect.
Mr. Barnes, speaking of future plans, is there, there's been plenty of people really interested in this case. Is there any plans to write a book, like a memoir? Tell me about that.
I had people contact me about a book. And, it's on the planning board right now. But nothing's in writing, but I'm just communicating with a few people in other states. It was a good friend of mine. She covered my trial in Syracuse, and she lives in Ohio now. And she's a freelance writer. She's a good friend of mine.
So if you did move forward with the book, what kind of message would you like to relay through it?
Just like the message of how the system failed me, and how how my whole ordeal, how my life was every day. What I lived through for 20 years and what it did to my family. Just hope that this doesn't happen to anybody else, because this is, like I said before, I wouldn't wish prison on my worst enemy. Every day I was in there, it was you always had your guard up, and you had, you couldn't be weak.
You say the system failed you 20 years ago, they did put you away, but today it was all dismissed. You lost complete faith in it?
Nah, it just needs to be, there needs to be some changes. I always said from day one, I don't like how the jury system is, but it's how it is. The jury be peers, but when you pick a jury, it's like a game of chess, Like who you want, the DA bumps out, and vice versa. then you end up with people that actually don't want to be there, so. And I think sometimes juries, they think, well, they wouldn't arrest this guy, so he's probably guilty anyways. It's the way I think about jury systems. And how they, interrogation, how law enforcement interrogate people. They need to do more filming in the room because the way some of these officers interrogate you behind closed doors.
And tell me a little bit, last time we spoke, you told me that you're hopeful to be involved in the investigation, trying to find the murder of Charles Simon. Tell me a little bit about that.
I spoke with Mr. McNamara before the holidays. He spoke. I just told him I would be any help.
Do you think they'll ever find her killer?
I hope they do, Mr. McNamara's got his hand-picked task force on it. We've been working hard. And I guess they're doing some DNA testing on other people, and maybe that could work in their favor like it worked on mine.
We are very hopeful, and Mr. McNamara again has been very cooperative, both with us at the Innocence Project from the moment we began testing, and as soon as exculpatory results came back, he did put together this task force. He has proven that he is very committed to finding out the truth in this case, and we do look forward to closure for everybody.
You've been out just shy of 2 months now. How are you adjusting?
I'm adjusting well, a lot of my friends have been supportive and helpful, and I had to go through the whole, I had to get Social Security card ID. I had my road test coming up Tuesday so I could get my license back. And when I went down to motor vehicles to get ID, they had to actually call Albany, the supervisor there, because I had no ID. Because when you get parole from prison, they give you money, ID card, and everything. When you get exonerated, they just throw you out the door, and that's it, So I had to get a birth certificate and all that. So I went down and took the permit, and I got one wrong on the road test. So.
He drove us to court this morning, which was a great change from the last time he was in court, and he's doing a great job. He'll be on the road by himself in no time once he gets out from under that learner's permit.
And cars have changed a lot, right?
Yeah, when I first got behind my mother's car, I was looking for the high beam on the floor. When I used to have them on the floor,
You mentioned your friends being supportive. They've been able to live their lives for 20 years and hopefully live out their dreams. What dreams of yours have been dashed because of this 20 year? Where had you hoped to be by now?
Well, I missed out on career, family. If I would have family, kids, it could still happen. I'll be 43 in a couple of weeks. I'm just thinking positive and looking to the future that whatever, I'm going to get a job pretty soon. I'm going to do some work with the Innocence Project. I lost a lot of my valuable years. I'm in pretty good shape for my age. I go to the gym on a regular. I try to stay healthy, eat right, so I just want to live a long life, in the future. Every morning for years like that, so it's in my head. Like this morning, I get up 5:30. I take my mom's dog out. Well, it's like my dog now, too. I take him out every morning, and the driveway needs to be shoveled. I take care of that. And then usually I get dropped.